Kidding? I'm not. I could keep going, but this is Glenn Miotti. Let's give it up for Glenn.
Thank you, everybody. It's a great honor to be here and to be a friend of Gregg Weaver's. 42 years ago, in 1975, the first reissue of Skateboarder magazine was published. That iconic cover first introduced us to Gregg Weaver. Of all the talented skaters to choose from, Warren Bolster picked that memorable image of Gregg to reintroduce skateboarding to the world after a 10-year absence. That dynamic image also proclaimed that sidewalk surfing was no longer just on flat ground. I first saw Gregg skate in 1976 while I was working at the Concrete Wave with park manager Guy Grundy. Seeing Gregg ride in person didn't do any of his pictures justice. His smooth, fluid style and powerful lines turned those banks and bowls into perfect, unbreaking waves. It reminded me so much of Jerry Lopez and Mark Richards' classic surfing at the Bonsai Pipeline. In the movie Downhill Motion, Gregg's slow motion scene, filmed at La Costa by Spider Wills, captures Gregg's finesse and flowing style, which defines the phrase, poetry in motion. It's classic skateboarding at its finest. In 1977, I was at Skatopia the day Warren Bolster and Gregg showed up to capture what became Gregg's second of 3 Skateboarder magazine covers. I can still picture that day with Warren capturing that iconic frontside sequence in the half pipe with his trusty Pentax. That day, we all watched as Gregg repeatedly hit such fluid and powerful frontsides, placing his wheel inch perfect in front of Warren's lens every time. I can still remember that day like it was yesterday, and yet I continue to forget where I parked my car. I was fortunate to work with Gregg at Hobie Skateboards as a photographer and assistant in the art department. It was a dream job working with such a great company and a group of fantastic writers, which many of the original team are here tonight to celebrate Gregg's, Kim's, and Vicky's induction. Gregg still has a deep love of our sport, but sadly a series of injuries has prevented him from skating again. However, you can always catch Gregg every year at Eddie and Donna Elguera's El Gato Classic. If you haven't gone, you are sorely missing out. In closing, I'd like to take this moment to thank Gregg for being such a great ambassador and pioneer for our sport, and for not taking up basketball instead of skateboarding. We salute you, Gregg, as a great friend, a father, a brother, teammate, and husband. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all join together in welcoming Gregg Weaver to the Skateboard Hall of Fame.
Come on, let's give it up for the Cadillac Kid. He's one of the icons in this whole skateboard. This is Gregg Weaver.
Thank you, Glenn Miotti, for your gracious introduction. Appreciate it. Hello, everyone. Can't see you. This is working out great. I'd like to thank the Skateboarding Hall of Fame for this honor in the induction with these great past and present skaters. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'll take it. I want to thank Frank Nasworthy. I met him skating to my sister's house in Encinitas back in 1974. He was yelling, "Hey kid, do you know Donald Gonder?" He was supposed to meet me here for shoot ads for Frank. Thanks to him for not showing up. He'd probably be the Cadillac Kid here tonight. Appreciate that, Tom. Frank offered me some wheels and a ride to the La Costa Hills to shoot ads for his new revolutionary urethane wheels. I was like, hell yes. Thank you, Frank, for designing these wheels so I didn't body surf asphalt anymore every time I hit a pebble. Frank was also a philanthropist. He employed me and my underage buddies in an unventilated garage in Cardiff, behind the Jack-in-the-Box, scooping 8-ball bearings into truck assemblies. I think it was 5 cents a unit. We didn't get rich, but we lost a lot of weight that summer. Can you say Martha Stewart, Frank? Warren Bolster, what can you say about Warren? He had an insane work ethic and artistic ethic. He and I became very good friends and travel buddies, probably because nobody wanted to ride in a 72 Pinto, which is filled with Kodak film and fast food wrappers half evening. You never went hungry with Bolster. This was all when Surfer Publications unleashed him to start the reissue of Skateboarder magazine. Warren ran with it and truly reinvented the sport we now know. May rest in peace, Warren. And I'd like to thank John O'Malley for building our first playgrounds out of concrete, letting me skate for free. I had a tight allowance back then. And, sorry I'm reading this. For all of you who know Eddie Alguera, support his efforts in his annual El Gala Classic. Seriously, one of the funnest weekends every year. We enjoy it. And with my Hobie team, always a cool team vibe. God bless Mike Weed, Skitch Hitchcock, rest in peace. My good San Diego bros, Rodney Jesse and Scotty Williams, rest in peace. Yeah. Steve McCandless, the kindest boss I've ever had. Next to my brother, of course. My family, who have always been there for me. My sons, Michael and Gordon, love you both very much, wherever you are. Especially my lovely wife, Denise, who puts up with most of my antics. My mother and best friend, God rest her soul. My brother and sister have always been there for me. Bought me my first $30 surfboard, which is cool. And my hero, my father, William Weaver. He flew in the Korean War at F-84, almost went down. Flew the F-104 man in a missile where he was chief test pilot for Lockheed Aircraft. He holds the record for having to eject from the SR-71 Blackbird at 80,000 feet, Mach 3, 2,200 miles per hour. That's some big air. Thanks for living long enough to spawn us, yeah. You're a stud. All the skaters I've had the pleasure to skate and travel with in their company. Too many to mention, I'm on a time limit here. And my friends who I've had the pleasure to spend my life with, many are here tonight. Thank you guys. And my family, thank you all. Appreciate this and really cherish